Welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Shane, and I'm here with Mark,
Hey.
and we are the Fantasy Football Pros. Welcome back, Mark.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Any chance did you see that Pro Bowl game?
While that was going on, all I saw was unicorn tang, angel butterfly fish, a really nice spotted Hawaiian moray eel, which is very rare to
Oh,
find.
wow. Mm-hmm.
And I was up close and personal with those. So I can tell you honestly, and this is no BS. The 10 days I was in Hawaii, I did not watch TV one time.
Wow.
I did not look at a computer one time. I was
Good for
just
you.
I am just completely indulged myself with nature. I just immersed myself in that. When we were talking hikes every day to waterfalls, hike at a volcano, which was actually erupting when we got there, which was so
Wow.
freaking cool.
I bet.
So freaking cool. But that's all we did was I snorkeled every day, went on hikes every day, and ate some good food every day. And it's so funny, guys. Shane, before the show, he's like the stewardess. Put your tray in an upright position and or put your tray up and your seat in an upright position. Every show, Shane, before we start, Mark, is your phone on mute? And I was like, dude, my phone's been on mute for 12 days now.
For those of you that don't know, Mark went to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl, and then it turns out that they switched over to Las Vegas.
Yeah, we'll go with that story.
Did you have any spam?
I did.
Was it good?
It was spam.
Was it good?
It was spam.
So no?
No, actually, it was good.
All right.
That is, if anybody doesn't know, that is like a huge delicacy in Hawaii is spam. Believe it or not. Don't
Canned spam.
Mm-hmm. And I actually had a ramen bowl that had pork, salted fish, and spam in it.
Wow.
And it was delish.
I've seen them make sushi out of that too.
Yeah, delish. Really good. Really, really good.
So long as you missed the Pro Bowl, it was a snooze fest. I don't know what happened or when this happened, but apparently they just play touch football now. And it's not even flag football. They just put hands on the guy with the ball, and then the referees blow the whistle.
So it's become a game of tag.
Yes. And ironically, there was girls or women. I don't know how old they were. Girls or women's flag football before the Pro Bowl. And that was way more entertaining than the Pro Bowl of the professional football players.
And probably more physical too.
Yeah. Like they had heart. Unlike these NFL players, they're like, bro, we're on vacation. The season's over. I don't care.
They really need to just make it a on paper team and not even take a field anymore. They really shouldn't. There's no reason to hold this Pro Bowl. Same thing with the NBA. The NBA All-Star game. Same thing. It's like, okay, here, you do a dunk. Okay, you do a dunk. Oh, here, why don't you just take that deep three? It's not entertaining to watch anymore.
No, it'd be more entertaining if, they got who's going to go to the Pro Bowl, and then they draft those players in a Madden video game.
Yeah.
And then have those two teams play in Madden.
Yeah.
Because they do that for like the Super Bowl predictions and all that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be way more. I would watch. I think I'd rather watch that than watch them play touch football.
Hey, like on DraftKings and whatnot, you can bet on esports now.
Oh, nice.
So why not?
So yeah, it was a snooze fest.
Yeah, no thanks. To be honest with you, I haven't watched a Pro Bowl in 15 years. It's not a game anymore. It's not football. There's many more things I can find to do with my time.
Well, I shared a clip with you. I think it was from like 2002 or in the late 90s, where they did used to play.
Yeah.
And they would tackle hard, and there was no issue with that whatsoever. And now it's just, I touched you.
Yeah. No thanks. No thank you.
It's so dainty.
I don't want nothing to do with it. So sorry. NFL, you can't.
Uh,
NFL, you cannot sell me on this one. So sorry.
Last week I did talk about Tom Brady, but I believe that you also wanted to share something.
I just wanted to say one thing. Everybody knows that I've been a Tom Brady hater.
Hmm.
I have been just because I'm jealous of his wife. I'm jealous of his skills. I'm jealous of his
You're
mind.
jealous of his wife?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to be married to Tom?
For that amount of money, sure. No, but you know what I'm saying. And I kept saying for years, he needs to retire. He's too old. He's gonna fall off the cliff. I just want to say congratulations to Tom Brady. You went out your way. You did what you wanted to do. You played as long as you wanted to play, and you never fell off that cliff. If anything, you actually got better this year than you have in the past, and you really
Hmm.
truly are the GOAT.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So that's all I wanted to say about Tom Brady because I didn't get a chance last week to say it. I just wanted to say he did it his way.
Well, I got more news.
Uh-oh, he's coming back.
He might. So, I know. So, apparently, he has his own podcast.
Yeah, he
And this
does.
is what he said. I'm just going to take things as they come. I think that's the best way to put it. And I don't think anything, you never say never. At the same time, I know that I feel very good about my decision. I don't know how I'll feel in 6 months from now.
Oh, so he's gonna do a Michael Jordan and play for the Wizards.
Maybe. It's like, why wouldn't he play for the same team? It'll be funny if like Aaron Rodgers went to Tampa Bay and then Tom Brady went to Green Bay.
No.
It'd just be funny.
Yeah.
Not a wish list.
I just hate that he put that out there even now.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I thought we were done.
I'd rather have it be a surprise. So I'm gonna take back everything I just said.
It's like maybe him and like Sean Payton want to have a little fling
Yeah.
because he's supposedly taking a year off too, but
Yeah.
he could do the exact same thing. Just be like, no, I'm going to come back. And like even Cam Jordan, I just saw Cam Jordan interview on ESPN and no, I'm sorry, the NFL Network. And he was just saying that maybe Sean Payton wants to play for on a bigger stage.
Maybe. Maybe he'd be the Dallas Cowboys head coach next year after McCarthy gets fired after this year coming up.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Never know.
Never know.
So this news, we're definitely really late on this, but this news came out after we put out our last episode. You probably already know that Brian Flores is suing the NFL. He is suing the Giants and he is suing the Broncos. So, Mark, I don't know if you know all the details, and I'm just going to throw it all out there for anybody out there that doesn't also know that apparently he went to go interview with the Broncos and they were an hour late and all the guys were like hungover and he just did not feel like they were taking him very seriously. And then he was supposed to go interview with the Giants. And that's when he got a text message from Bill Belichick saying, "Hey, congratulations. I hear you got this in the bag." He's like, "Oh, well, I don't know what you heard, but thank you. My interview is like in 2 days." He's like, "Giants? Question mark." And then Brian texts him like, "Are you confusing me with this other Brian,
Yeah.
who is the Bills defensive coordinator?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oops, I think I effed this one up badly." He could have totally rebound from that and just be like, "Oh, I messed up. Yeah, I meant blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Or I hear that you do have it in the bag, Brian Flores.
Oh, that's funny. So Bill Belichick is human.
Oh yeah. So he definitely made a huge mistake. But it just goes to show that this what's the rule? The Rooney rule.
Is a bunch of BS.
Yeah. And that they already hired the guy before even interviewing the one black coach that they were going to interview.
I agree that rule is BS. I
Well,
agree.
they need to fix it.
I mean, because they are just getting token interviews. That's all it
Yeah,
is token interviews, just so they
which
can
is
say,
what
"I did the rule. I went by the rule."
that's what some of the black coaches have been saying is like when they see a black coach come in for the interview, like, "Oh, you're the Rooney Rule.
But what I
That's the
hate
only reason you're here."
but what I hate is, and I like Brian Flores. I liked him as a coach. I thought I wanted the Bears to look at him and talk to him. But now he's saying the only reason why Lovie Smith got the Texans job is because he's suing the league and suing teams and this and that. And no, Lovie Smith was actually a good coach.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I mean, think about with the Bears. He was an average coach.
Do you know his record?
Average coach.
He's like 2 or 3 games over
Like
500.
I said, average coach. But what he
Why would
is,
you hire an average coach?
because of what maybe they think the Texans need down there is a change of morals. Maybe they need from where they were at to where they need to be. Maybe they see they needed better people because as far as a human being goes, no one will ever say anything bad about Lovie Smith. That he's just a upstanding individual, upstanding guy, an honest guy, and maybe they felt that's where they needed to put that locker room after that whole Deshaun Watson and this and that and everything else. Maybe this is where they think they need to go to change the culture.
I thought that Houston would wanna actually hire Brian Flores because, him and Deshaun Watson were so tied together for whatever reason.
I don't know. I said I don't think Brian Flores is getting another job ever again.
No. Um, Unfortunately, it seems like the same thing that happened to Colin Kaepernick is gonna happen to Brian.
Yeah, and which is a shame because he's a good coach. He's a very good coach.
He's a very good coach. A lot better than Lovie
Yeah,
Smith.
he is. And again, that's the only thing I can say is the whole Lovie Smith thing is a culture thing, and maybe people are perceiving Brian Flores as a problem, just like they did with Kaepernick. They perceived him as a problem because he spoke out.
Well, all the NFL owners are white men,
Yeah,
so
white
I could
privileged
definitely
men.
s yeah, I could definitely see them seeing the black guy that's outspoken. They're like, "Nah, you have no power over me," which is just ignorant.
And I'm this is gonna sound bad. I know it's gonna sound bad. As a manager in the industry I'm in, if a someone comes to me during an interview, all they do is complain about it's always that person's fault, always that person's fault, always that person's fault, as far as why they left jobs. I am ending that interview as quickly as I can and saying, see you later. People don't want to hire someone who has a possibility of being a problem.
Mhm.
And that's what he's put out there is that he is a possibility of a problem.
Even though he's probably a solution to a bigger problem,
Probably,
but to
probably.
them in their pocketbooks, it's a
But
problem.
that's a huge amount of money that you're paying these coaches now. And that's a huge risk you're taking that and again, with him speaking out and suing and all these things, people are looking at it, well, maybe you are the problem. Maybe there's something with you. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's how I feel. I would love to have Brian Flores as the coach of the Chicago Bears. It didn't happen.
I was kinda hoping that would happen,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah,
So I
didn't.
was too. That's who I wanted all along. As soon as they fired, what's his name? I don't even care anymore. I'm just joking.
Matt
I know.
Nagy.
Um, but that's who I said right away, and I said it on our show. I would love for them to have Brian Flores in their building.
Mhm.
But after all this, there's part of you that thinks, well, maybe he is the problem. Why he's blaming everybody else? Maybe it should be looking in the mirror.
Yeah, you're right, it does sound bad.
It does sound bad, I know, But I'm look.
What you're saying sounds
I
bad.
know, and I'm trying to put my. But I'm putting myself in. How would I handle a situation of a server coming to come work for me, or a manager coming to work for me, and that person in an interview bashing everybody else, and it's everybody else's fault? I'm running away from that interview. I am. I'm just being honest.
Well, I mean, those are two different stories, though. Someone blaming everyone else for something, and then someone complaining about racism is completely different in my spectrum.
I understand. I understand. And there need to be more black coaches. There need to be more black head coaches. There needs to be black ownership. There
Hmm.
does. I'm not denying that. And the change is going to start somewhere. But the way he's doing it is actually putting it two steps back, I think.
Well, and what's going on is that he's put his career on the line to help his fellow man. To be honest
And
with
that's what he said. I understand that. I understand why he's doing it,
you.
but you're not going to see that in the next. You're not going to see that actually working to anybody's benefit for several years because it's just going to put. I think it's just pushed it back further.
Pushed it back
Yeah,
further,
I do.
like made it
Yeah,
worse.
I think with
Oh no,
with him suing and all that might have made it worse. I don't
no,
know if there was
no,
any
no.
better way to do it or not.
No, someone had to start this because there's always been speculation about it, and now with a lawsuit, now there's going to be an investigation,
Yeah,
and now people have to start thinking about, oh shoot,
I mean,
we can't
I
just
think.
do the Rooney
Well, I think
Rule
they
and
should
be
investigate the
okay.
Rooney Rule because I think that is a bunch of BS because it's putting these black coaches in a bad position. They're taking interviews that are sham interviews.
Hmm. Yeah, wasting their
Yeah,
time. It's just a little vacation, I
and
guess.
but it's got to be frustrating to them. Now, the whole thing with him suing John Elway and all that. I don't know if you heard John Elway's side of the story.
No, I have not.
Okay, this is John Elway's side of the story. It was they were somewhere else interviewing somebody else, and they had to take a night flight to get to where Brian Flores was at because Brian Flores gave them his agent gave them just a small window. This is when you got to interview him. Was this day at this time? And they had to fly out to him after being in another interview all day the day before. So they took their corporate jet from where they're at, flew it overnight to have a morning meeting with Brian Flores. So when Brian Flores has said they didn't seem interested, they looked like they were hungover, they were partying all night. That wasn't the case. As John Williams said, we were on a flight all night and doing our homework on Brian Flores throughout the night. He goes, so I'd gone like 24 hours without sleep. So, and that was because him and his agent gave him this specific time, and this is the only time we'll talk to you. So
You don't,
them not being flexible to when they could meet with Denver and Elway led to them looking like they did.
and you fully believe that an NFL team would start researching the coach that they're going to interview 24 hours beforehand, and that's their
You're going
window.
to still do it and do that time up to that point. Yes, you're going to still want to. Okay, let's get our ducks in a row. Let's rehash this, and look at it again. So I think it's somewhere in the middle. But again, maybe Brian Flores has to look at his agent and say, "Why did you set these demands on them and not set it for a day later to let them have a day to fly in and get set and ready for the thing?" And saying, "No, you got to do it now or not at all."
Well, the thing is that we weren't there, so
Exactly.
it's all he said. So
Exactly. But
at this
at
point,
this point, that is a possibility too. That maybe Brian Flores' agent has set him up to fail. Also,
all right, let's move on. So where do you think we got Russell Wilson? We have Aaron Rodgers. Where do you think they're going to play next season?
I don't know. Hawaii?
They don't have a team.
Oh damn. I'm thinking maybe. I think one of them will end up in Denver. I think Denver
Okay.
realizes what a bad problem they have there at quarterback, and with a team like they have and the talent that they have, that they're wasting that talent right now.
Broncos, yeah, that'd be a great team. They're literally a quarterback away.
Yeah.
There's also two other teams I can think of that have a glaring hole.
Okay.
Tampa Bay just lost Tom Brady,
True.
just went to the playoffs. They have a great defense, great offensive weapons.
Aaron Rodgers.
Probably won't have Gronk next season, though. I'm pretty sure he's going to retire with Tom
Yeah, but if you'd
and
went to Gronk,
unretire again with Tom.
yeah. But if you were Gronk and you see that Aaron Rodgers is coming to Tampa, would you not want to give that a try?
I don't know, because Gronk seems like he likes to party, and Aaron Rodgers, he seems like the buzzkill. Like he's not there to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, he's even boring as State Farm commercials.
The other team is, Ben Roethlisberger. He just
Yep.
left Pittsburgh. Also has a great defense, really good offensive weapons.
And honestly, I could see that happening for Russell Wilson.
I was thinking that too. I think Russell would be a great fit in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Especially with Najee Harris there.
Hmm.
That would be a great compliment because you're not asking Wilson to do everything.
No, he wouldn't even have to run that much because Najee catches the ball so well.
And the thing about Wilson at his best is when he didn't have to do everything. So I think that would be a great landing spot for him.
Okay, we're going to talk about some coaching and landing spots. And unfortunately, if this is uncomfortable for you, I apologize. But this is the day in the life of in the United States now. So,
Yeah.
We got two more black general managers got hired. One in Chicago, Ryan Poles, who was the scouting director for the Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Who also, by the way, was on the Bears at one time.
Yeah, he's a former Bear player.
Yep.
Player, not a coach or anything. He was
Right.
a player.
Right.
And everyone in Kansas City just touts how amazing this guy is, and they all love working with him. So very exciting news for us Bears fans.
Definitely.
And then Minnesota, I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly.
Oh my good luck.
They hired Kessie Adolfo Menza.
Okay, I thought you did very well.
I hope so. Bringing a total of 7 black GMs, the most since 2016. Okay, so let's go into some of these coaches that got hired.
Mm-hmm.
Giants hired Brian DeBole.
Yep.
White guy.
Yep.
Bears hired Matt Eberflus. White guy. But hired by a black man.
Yeah.
The Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett, the former Packers offensive coordinator, white guy.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins hired Mike McDaniel, which, I mean, you look at him and you're like, white guy. But
pasty white guy.
This is the funny thing. He says that he identifies as multicultural. And if you Google his information, you might find information that his dad is black, I believe.
Okay.
But it's so vague. And I've never heard of anyone saying that they identify with a race.
Yeah, that one.
That
one woman. Yes, the one woman who was president of the NAACP, who touted herself as a black person all along, was not black, but she identified as black.
Yeah, and she got sued.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have not addressed this since, like he hasn't gone on and explained like what he is, it just kind of sounds like BS. So you guys can't see my face, but I am very, very white. Okay.
Pasty white.
I am also half Mexican. My mom was born in Mexico.
Which blew me away when I found that out.
So I could say I'm multicultural, but if you hired me, you're hiring a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the plain facts. So I guess he's multicultural. So if that's the case, he joins Ron Rivera, who's Latino, Robert Saleh,
mm-hmm.
which I haven't looked it up, but does have an Indian tang to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike Tomlin, who's the only NFL black coach, besides Lovie Smith, who just got hired. So
Yeah.
Guess I can continue down this list. The Raiders hired Josh McDaniels, which we thought he's never going to leave the Patriots. So he finally found the nice juicy job he wanted, I guess. White guy. The Jaguars hired Doug Peterson,
Retreaded white guy.
famously known as being a white guy.
Yeah.
Texans hired Lovie Smith, definitely a black man. One of the most boring black men I've ever heard speak in my life.
He's a safe pick.
Yeah, he's like 2 or 3 games above 500. He's monotone. Definitely, he's not a controversy kind of guy.
Nope.
So maybe that's what they were looking for. They wanted to fulfill the black man, coaching job while also having someone that's not going to stir the feathers.
And I still think with that Lovie Smith hiring is just that they wanted to change the culture to good, upstanding people culture instead of what was there before him.
Mm-hmm. And then the Saints hired Dennis Allen. Well, actually, they promoted him, so that's a position from within, and everyone was kind of expecting that to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be more black people on that list of head coaches. There need to be more Hispanics on that list of head coaches. There needs to be more people included in that list of head coaches. And I thought Brian Flores was going to be that next guy that was just going to go right to another team. And all reports, he should have been. I mean, I'm not denying his right to be pissed off. He should have been on that list too.
He still has an opportunity. There's still one team that has not hired their head coach yet, and that's the Minnesota Vikings. But they are expected to hire Kevin O'Connell, who's currently with the Rams.
White guy.
White guy.
Yeah. Well, how could you tell by the name O'Connell?
But I mean, but that's another black GM
Mm-hmm.
that would be making the move. So
We'll see.
it's kind of controversial. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
just weird to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, some more downers about the NFL. Alvin Kamara has battery charges.
Yeah.
So this is the story. Apparently, at like 6:30 in the morning in Las Vegas, apparently him and 2 or 3 of his friends got into a fight with another man, and they beat this man senseless. They stomped on his face. They punched him when he was on the ground until he was unconscious, and apparently fractured his orbital bone, which is his eye socket.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst thing about this is that now there's news that Las Vegas police notified the NFL about the incident about Kamara before the Pro Bowl, and they still allowed him to play because, quote, he was cooperating with the police.
Yeah. Can I call BS?
Mm-hmm.
Because he saying that he will meet with the police after the Pro Bowl is not cooperating with the police.
No.
You haven't given up names. You haven't given your side of the story. That just means I know I'm not going to be able to get on a flight and get out of here until I talk to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And there is video of this. There was surveillance video of the incident.
Yeah.
And in the surveillance video, they say you can see Alvin Kamara throwing 8 punches himself. So it's not like he was with people that were doing it. No, he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about drafting him next year?
Not good. I mean, the NFL is going to definitely suspend him, regardless of what legally happens, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
He's facing 5 years in prison.
Could.
5 years in prison. And if there's video of him punching the guy while on the ground, defenseless at this point, it should be longer than that.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's bigger of a slap on the wrist than what they did with Ray Rice.
Yeah.
I think that was 4 games, was it?
Something that was just a slap in the face.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 6 games. It was
Yeah.
just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, look at they banned Kaepernick for just taking a knee.
Yeah. Just blacklisted the man.
Yeah. I don't know. That's it's just it's just unsettling that he was involved with this and to throw away possibly throw away his career because of maybe something was said in a strip club, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. To throw your way to be stupid enough to throw away your career like that is just unsettling.
Well, they say that there's no good decision past 2 a.m., and it was 6:30, so it was you're 4.5 hours past due, bro. Like, go to bed. So, unfortunately, that's gonna
Oh my
be
goodness.
probably one less top-tier running back to that's gonna be draftable.
Yeah, I mean seriously, I and okay, how about this? How about if it lingers like the Deshaun Watson thing lingered and lingered and lingered and still hasn't been resolved?
He just doesn't play.
Are you yeah, but are you going to draft him hoping that he gets cleared and then you could put him in? Yeah, it's just no. It's get this thing settled. It's just crazy how long this stuff can linger on.
Mhm. Okay, last part. Super Bowl.
Yes.
What do you
Aha.
think is gonna happen?
Oh, we forgot there's that game this weekend.
Um, yeah, it's gonna be in 3 days. Just 3 days. Super Bowl.
Yeah. Wow. My brain is telling me that the Rams are going to win something to the fact of 24-17, 24-21, something along there. That's what my brain's telling me. But to see Joe Burrow just performing like he has so unexpectedly and the role that they're on, being away, beating everybody away, away from home, away from home, away from home, being the underdog away team every game in the playoff and winning. It's just one of those things that you look at like maybe they're destined to win.
I mean, he's played every big game in his whole football career.
Yeah.
He did it in high school, he did it in college, and he won them all. He got the Heisman. No,
Yeah.
and he's saying that like he's so like calm and not acting like this is his first time here, even though
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
definitely is his first time here on this stage in the NFL. But he's just so calm, like he's Tom Brady. Like he's been there
It's
and won it 7 times.
and he's done it with such swagger, with such cool.
Yeah. His whole
I mean,
the
seriously.
whole team, the kicker going up to Joe Burrow saying, "It looks like
Yeah.
we're gonna win this game," and then he kicks a winning field goal. I mean,
Yeah.
they're just having fun.
How could you not like this team? I mean, seriously, you gotta like this team.
I am personally rooting for the Bengals because I think that they're more fun to watch, but I think
Mhm.
that the Rams are a better team, mainly because of their defense.
Right. And that's why I have it somewhat of a lower score, you know, and that's why I have the Rams winning because their defense and because I just my mind's telling me that. When I'm looking at things, my mind's telling me this is the way it's gonna be. But man, there's that in the back of my mind saying, "But this team looks like a team of destiny the way they're playing." It's just really weird. And you know what? I wouldn't be upset if they did win. It's a likable team.
Very.
And Stafford, I've liked Stafford for
Mhm.
years. So I'd love to see him get a Super Bowl after putting up with Detroit for all those years. I'd love for him to win. But I wouldn't be mad either way because they're both likable teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's the line from Vegas. So the over under is 48.5 points.
So I'm underneath that.
You're way under.
Yep.
Giving the Bengals 4.5 points.
Okay. So I I was like 3 points to 7 points win for the Rams, so I'm not that far off of it. I mean, yeah,
And the ironic thing is that these are both number 4 seeds in the Super Bowl. That's the cool thing. The
Yeah.
first, second, and third seeds in both divisions are out.
So 4.5 points. I think I would, even though I think the Rams are going to win, I would put my bet on Cincinnati.
So it sounds like they think it's going to be like a 22-26 Rams.
Yeah. So I would put my money on Cincinnati. Like when I do my betting, which it's me, I'll do it. I'll put it on Cincinnati in the under.
But do you have any betting odds?
All right, here's some player props for the games. Let's go with just Matthew Stafford. 39 and a half yards for the longest completion. Over or under.
I'd say over.
So would I.
Wait, is that the pass or overall
The pass.
yards?
No, just 1 yard, one pass for over 39 and a half yards.
I mean, is that like a
So is he
like a
gonna
Cooper
so he's gonna
Cup
throw one pass for 40?
catches the ball and then he runs it for 40?
Yep. Yep. Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah.
As long as that
I'd say over.
okay. Matthew Stafford, 5.5 rushing yards. Which sounds like nothing, but I'll still go under because
I think I'd go under too.
a sack goes against your rushing yards.
Uh-huh. And it's really rare to see him run.
Here's the tough one for you. Matthew Stafford, 24.5 completions.
Ooh. I'm thinking under just because they have Akers, they have
Thank you.
Sony Michelle, and there's rumors that Henderson might actually play this game. So they might have three very competent running backs able to go.
Hmm. I was
And
going to do the under also on that.
and if that's the case, I mean, we know that they want to run the ball more than they pass
Yep. They want
with
to
that
control it more.
with that defense of theirs.
And that's what I was thinking. Exactly what you just said. Hang on, you're reading my mind.
Which is weird because all I see is like a frozen still image of your face.
Oh, well, right now there's laser beams going between your eyes and my forehead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's another one for you that I think I'll do under. Matthew Stafford, 284.5 yards passing.
Yeah, go under.
Yep. Here's another over for you. And this one, I'm all over this over. Cam Akers, 63.5 rushing yards.
Whew. I would go under.
Okay. See, and this is why I'm going over on it because they have one for Cam Akers for longest run, 15.5 yards.
Well, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I think that it's going to be a split committee.
Oh, I know one you're going to like. This one I know you're going to like.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Akers, 83.5 rushing and receiving yards combined.
I think I'd take the over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we've seen him when he catches the ball, like he can take it to the house.
So then here's a slam dunk. Hit the slam dunk button. Do we have a slam dunk button anywhere?
Nope.
Damn. We got to talk about our budget. All right.
Yeah, we can't afford it yet.
Yeah. Cam Akers, 16.5 receiving yards. 16.5, not 60, 16, 16.5 receiving yards.
Oh yeah, I'll take the over on that.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to my wife about emptying out our bank account real quick. All right. And then Cam Akers, 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. So basically, do you think Cam Akers is going to have a touchdown this game?
Man, those are always hard to predict.
I think so. I think he has one.
I'm gonna say no, just because like when you lock into like one specific player of them getting a touchdown, I don't like those odds unless it's someone I know that has guaranteed work, which I don't know that Akers has guaranteed work.
Because you think Sony Michelle is going to intrude on his parade.
And possibly Henderson, yeah.
All right. Well, there is nothing on Underdog Fantasy for Henderson at all. But if you thinking Sony Michelle, you could do Sony Michelle 7.5 yards for the longest run for him.
Sure, I'll take the over on that.
You could do Sony Michelle 19.5 rushing yards.
What? Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I know you would.
So they just think it's just gonna be Akers.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking it's not.
And that's what Underdog Fantasy is thinking and placing their bets on. is that it's going to be Akers.
Well, this is my theory, right? During the regular season, you want your workhorse back because that guy just like they just tend to get stronger throughout the game. But when it's just down to the last game, and if Akers is not cutting it, they're not just going to keep handing the ball to Akers, especially when you have possibly two other like very viable backs. This is is the game.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's over. So if Akers keeps hitting a wall, and then they give it to Sony once, and Sony breaks it for like 15,
Okay.
you know.
I hear you. You want to get now? We're going to get some difficult props because I thought we saw some definite home runs in the running back props. Okay, and
Mhm.
I think we saw some things we can definitely hit on. Cooper Cup, 30.5 yards for the longest reception. That's a tough one.
That is. I'm thinking under because when they play a lot of strong defenses, he gets a lot of like underneath stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
and like that's when he gets like 13 catches for like 130 yards, just averaging like 10 yards.
And that's the thing. So that's what I was thinking. I was going to go under on that one also, but I'm going to go. I was thinking about going over on this one. Cooper Cup, 8.5 receptions.
Yeah, you have to go over
Because, like you said, he might get some more underneath play.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
if
Uh,
there's one for him getting a touchdown, I'll take that too.
okay. How about 107.5 total receiving yards? Yeah. I mean, they put a pretty high number on that.
Yeah, that is high.
I
I
think
don't
it
think I would touch that one, but I would
no.
probably go under.
And that's the thing. That one they set pretty high, which sets up my next question then. Odell Beckham Jr., 65.5 receiving yards. So they're thinking that Cup's going to have a day. They're thinking Beckham's going to have a day, is what they're putting it out there. And if we think Cup's going to have under that 107 yards, maybe Beckham has more than 65.5 yards.
I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's so easy for him to break one.
I know. And then his longest reception was 22.5 yards.
If I was betting on this, I would stay away from Odell, to be honest,
Okay.
because those are hard.
All right. Let me give you an easy one.
Uh-huh.
Do you think Van Jefferson will catch one pass in this game?
Yes,
Then you might love this prop because what does Van Jefferson do when he catches the ball?
he
It's
gets a touchdown.
but it's always a long distance. It's usually
Yeah, like
because
40 yards.
it's a play action. They've used Akers, they've used Michelle enough that they'll bite on the play action. Longest reception for Van Jefferson. Oh, baby, getting my money ready. 18.5 yards.
Sure,
Getting my money ready.
sure. But he could also go the whole game without a catch.
No, he'll get one catch for 38 yards, and that'll be it. We going to Sizzler. We going to Sizzler.
Let me see what he did last game.
One catch.
2 catches, 9 yards.
That's it.
Yeah,
How about the game before that? One catch, 40 yards.
against the Bucks, 2 catches, 29 yards.
Ooh. I'm still going to Sizzler. I'm going to
So
Sizzler.
yeah, I don't know if that one's as safe now.
Maybe that's why it's so low. I was expecting it being higher than that.
It could be. It's probably yeah, because
Oh,
he hasn't really done it in the playoffs.
yep. All right, let's get over to the Cincinnati side.
Yeah,
Let's go for Cool Joe. 39.5 yards for his longest completion.
sure. I'll take the over.
Yep. 7.5 yards for his longest run. Nah. S- I think Rams defense, they'll get to him a couple times and he'll lose yardage just because of sacks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll take the under.
24.5 completions.
Sure.
Over. Yeah.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be throwing a lot more than Stafford is.
Yeah. I agree. So this one here, it's higher than Stafford's total, 288.5 yards.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
That's the only way they're going to stay competitive, I think.
It's just that the running game they only have Mixon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have like Perrine in there, but pretty much just Mixon.
Let's go to Joe Mixon. 63.5 rushing yards.
Mm, that's hard.
Look at his totals for the last 6 weeks. I think he's only had one game that he had that.
See, he didn't do it against the Titans.
Mm-mm.
Got 88 yards versus Kansas City.
Right.
Wild card. He had 48 yards.
Mm.
So what is it?
63.5 yards.
Versus a very stout defense. I'll take the under, I guess.
Yeah. In the Super Bowl, all the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Then how about Joe Mixon, 28.5 receiving yards?
I'll take the under on that.
How about Joe Mixon, 3.5 receptions?
Oof.
I think I'll take the over on that one.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so.
Does he throw to Mixon that often? Or is it just all Chase and Higgins? What was it? 6.5?
3.5.
Huh. Okay. Well, you got 4 against Oakland. You got 6. Yeah, okay. I'll take the over on that.
Yeah. How about Joe Mixon, 92.5 yards total offense?
I'll take the under on that.
I do too. I think that Cincinnati's going to have to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if he does get that over, it's through the air.
And do you think Mixon's going to get a touchdown, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Same as Akers. This is single out one guy. If it was like the centerpiece, like if it was Cooper Cup or Chase, yes. I'll say yes.
Yeah, Sammy P. Ryan, 5.5 rushing yards.
I'll take the over on that.
Yeah.
He just needs one good run, right?
1.5 receptions.
Sure.
All right, here, let's get into the heart of the matter, though. Jamar Chase, 28.5 yards for his longest reception.
I'll take the over.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase, 79.5 receiving yards.
Oh, yeah, I'll take the over.
Here's one I definitely will take. Does Chase get a touchdown?
Yes.
Yes. Here's another one I would take. 6 receptions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take the over. And then this one, I guess you got to throw in there, too, because they do end arounds with him a couple times, right?
Mhm.
84.5 total yards, rushing and receiving.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, he can get that through the air on his own, so.
And then T. Higgins, they've got 25.5 yards for his longest reception.
Maybe.
And they got him all the way up to 69.5 yards for total receiving yards.
I was hoping 66. I'm like, if it's at 66, I'll take the over. It's at 69.
69.5. I tell you what, I'm going to stay away from the T. Higgins bets as far as overs and go right to Tyler Boyd.
What are his looking like?
39.5 receiving yards.
That seems very doable.
17.5 for his longest reception.
Sure.
And then you could also bet on his fantasy points, 7.5 fantasy points. Oh, I'm going over on that for Boyd.
Okay.
So I might skip the T. Higgins and go right to Boyd because Boyd's really come through lately. You got exciting news about YouTube with us, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We created a YouTube page.
Woohoo!
So if you guys like, you can go on over and take a look at that. We don't have actual video of it yet, so it's just like a still image, but we did start it, and we would appreciate it if you guys went over there and subscribe. It kind of helps out on our end for us to get more content out to you guys.
I think what I'll do is put my bets in only in the YouTube format to look at it on there. I'm on the plane back. My wife and I, we have the first row because the flight from Oakland to LA only had 25 passengers on it on a 175 seat plane.
Wow. Okay.
So when we got to LA, we stayed on the plane in LA from LA to Chicago. So we had the front row the whole way, which I like because it gives you plenty of leg room. Well,
first class, huh?
Yeah. Well, we have this guy come in, and people are going past us because there's always two people. There's one guy by himself, and we left the seat in the middle between us open with some of our belongings on that middle seat, so we looked like someone was sitting there. He's like, "Is anybody sitting there?" Yeah, my wife is. Move over, Laura. So she moves over. He sits down next to her. Man, I was at this awesome festival all weekend, in LA. It was called LA Vibes. It was a reggae festival. Just
Ugh.
hacking up a storm. And Laura looks at me. She goes, I've avoided the COVID this whole time, and this asshole is going to give it to me after being all weekend at a festival.
Yeah, that's scary.
So I woke up today with a sore throat. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch shit.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah. But anyway.
Was there not assigned seating?
No, Southwest has no assigned seating. It's first come, first seat.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I hope your wife's going to be okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. Because if she's not okay, I'm not okay.
I hope you're going to be okay. All right, that is all we have time for you today. So I hope you all enjoy watching the Super Bowl. Hopefully it'll be one hell of a game. Hopefully there'll be I don't know, somebody's going to win the Super Bowl that's never won before. Because neither of these guys have been here before.
Yep, new blood.
That's all we have time for you. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
See ya.
And go check us out on YouTube.
Yes.